Hey, bonjour. Donc aujourd'hui on reprend The Council. Alors j'avais fait un stream il y a quelques jours où j'avais recommencé, j'avais commencé l'épisode 3, mais il y a eu un gros bug où je ne pouvais plus avancer. Alors du coup je vais refaire le début de l'épisode 3, donc ça va aller un peu plus vite que d'habitude. Hop.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
You must leave me alone now. I have agreed to everything, even to...
But you do realize your mother will have to accept the consequences of her acts.
I hope that your search will prove successful and bring Sarah back to us soon.
I'll be leaving now because whatever it is you're up to, I do not want to know.
Since then, we have become one and the same. We have officially erased the identity of my sister Emma. Emily Hillsborough, the woman with two faces.
Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
Qu'est-ce que j'avais pris? Je ne sais plus. Bon, pif, en érudition. Je voulais prendre celui subterfuge et étiquette. Voilà.
Don't move.
Wait, I don't...
So you've come at last.
Easy. Let me turn around. Oh my god, Mother, what has happened to you?
Who are you?
What? But, Mother!
Who are you?
It's me, Louis, your son.
No, you lie. You won't catch me out like that. Louis isn't here. He obeys his mother. He would never have come here.
Mother, I don't know what you've been through, but lower your arm, please.
You think I was born yesterday, do you? But it won't work.
I'm begging you.
One day you will fall.
Mother!
Why are you here?
Let's go, Mother. Let's go home.
In all my heart, there's nothing I want more. But I know you won't let me leave. You are evil incarnate.
Bon, je connais les bonnes
Every
réponses, j'ai
word
déjà fait
that
au moins
comes
3
out of
fois ce
your
passage.
mouth is sharper than a razor blade.
I don't wish you any harm. Really, Mother. It's me, Louis.
Don't speak to me about him. You will never get him.
Mother, stop torturing yourself. It really is me, Louis. How can I convince you?
If you really are who you say you are, what was the saying I taught you?
You've been telling it to me since I was 3 years old, Mother. How could I ever forget it? Always keep your mind rational and open.
You knew it. You are smart. You're getting me muddled up. Tell me, rather, whose place were we at when I told you I was coming here?
Mother, I really am your son. You can't trick me. We were in Paris. We were investigating an art dealer.
His name?
I just told you, you can't trick me. His name was von Borchert.
My God, everything is lost then. I refuse to believe it's really you, Louis. Otherwise, all this would be for nothing.
Mother, I don't know what happened to you, but don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. I'm here for you and...
No! I ordered you not to come with me.
I received a letter and Lord Mortimer informed me of your disappearance. So I took the...
No! 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 It's not true. It's a nightmare. Don't tell me that. Have you spoken to him?
Oh, shit. She's completely panicked because I spoke to Mortimer. It seems she's afraid of what he might have said to me about her.
Did he speak to you?
Don't believe it. I thought I'd meet him the moment I arrived, given the situation. But not at all. He didn't even bother to meet me in person.
I imagine that Elizabeth was still here. Very well. Rational and open, Louis. Since you arrived on the island, has anything strange happened to you?
Depends on what you mean by strange. Personally, I think that you being missing for 3 days and then me finding you underground, minus a hand, well, that qualifies as strange, don't you think?
No, my hand is not important for the moment. If that's the only thing you found that shocks you, then all is well. Now shut up and listen to me. We might still have a chance. Something of utmost importance is going to play out right here.
What are you talking about?
A conference, Louis. I should think all Mortimer's guests have arrived by now, haven't they?
Yes, they have. Since this morning.
Perfect. The conference will be able to begin.
Indeed. It shouldn't be long and—
Let me finish. We haven't time. You will attend this conference, and you must find out what Mortimer is up to. Don't trust him, Louis. Understood?
But what's it about?
No matter. I'd wager it's about a vast acquisition of some territory in North America. This, however, is not the issue.
But don't you think that—
Louis, I made a mistake by coming here. We are in the lion's den.
What do you mean?
Mortimer, Holm, their guests. Watch what happens. Do you think it's normal that the representatives of the most powerful nations are here all on their own without anyone else? On an island in the middle of nowhere in total secrecy?
No, not really, but—
Louis! They shape the world. They manipulate us. Everything is decided here and now. They create and break states, provoke wars, destitute governments, or decide who will be their leaders. Open your eyes!
Mother, calm yourself, please.
Nothing is impossible for them. They are capable of reaching everyone, wherever they may be. Through high society banquets, they model the future of us all. And it isn't at all an issue for them.
And? What do you propose?
It's time to act, my son. You will go to this conference, and from the inside, you'll do everything you can to prevent Mortimer's plan from going ahead smoothly. We can talk later. I'll explain everything.
But why?
Do as I say, Louis. It's of the utmost importance. Beware of Mortimer. He won't let anything stand in his way.
You promised me that after—
Yes, after. Go now.
Yes, Mother, I'm going. One more thing, Mother. Emily Hillsborough, Emma's sister, came to this island looking for her sister. She probably won't hesitate to take revenge and—
It's the signal that the conference is starting, Louis. Don't be concerned about the Duchess. She's the last of our worries.
Ok, donc ça c'est bon. Donc maintenant on peut aller direct dans le colloque, enfin rejoindre le colloque. Non, c'est sur porte de gauche. Voilà. Donc là, pareil, je vais essayer de refaire les mêmes réponses que j'avais fait la toute première fois que j'avais commencé cet épisode. En espérant que cette fois-ci ça bug pas. Alors parler aux gens ça sert à rien, je vais juste récupérer
Amber.
les différentes choses qu'il y a sur les tables.
A
chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of water. A ruble.
Ok. Je sais plus si sur la table centrale il y avait un truc. Non. Ah, il y a un truc à côté des. Ah, c'est un peu chiant à contrôler. Ah, collier, élixir d'or. Là. Une milice, ok. Ok, allez hop.
Ah, Louis, I've been expecting you. Thank you for joining us. We are about to begin our conference. Let me explain what is at stake.
Thank you kindly. But what do you expect of me exactly? My mother's the one who's supposed to attend, not me.
That is indeed what was initially intended. Unfortunately, she still hasn't been found, and my guests can't stay here indefinitely. The conference must begin, and it would be truly beneficial to the Order to join in the project. Consequently, I would like you to replace her during her absence. What is at stake here is of the utmost importance.
It's important that the French Order gets their say. And should you need any advice, don't worry. You are not alone, Louis.
Very well.
Bon, on va se
Can you
refaire
give me
vite
a
fait les
brief
questions.
explanation of the aim of it all?
Of course, Louis, I was coming to that. The aim of these meetings is to bring together the most influential people in order to think together about the future.
But the future of who?
Of the world, Louis.
Our desire is to steer the destiny of our respective countries for the good of all, and to no longer suffer the random hazards of history.
In concrete terms, how do you organize your discussions?
A conference is always organized the same way. There are two masters of ceremony who determine an important subject.
You and Sir Gregory, I presume.
Exactly. We shall be the masters of ceremony. It was our obligation to each bring to the table several guests in order to debate a subject. Once the debate is closed, a decision will be made by a vote of all the participants.
By a unanimous vote. If the project is not agreed on by all, then it will be rejected.
And neither of the two masters of ceremony have the right to vote.
It's up to the guests alone to decide, Louis. In other words, us.
Gregory and myself are merely the go-betweens. Finally, if the project is validated, each guest goes home and starts working to make it happen.
It can take years.
Can you give me an example of an event that was decided here before being implemented in the outside world?
Well, take the French Revolution. It was decided right here 2 years before its implementation in France.
Concerning the case of the French Revolution, I wasn't invited. But as far as the American Revolution is concerned, Louis, I can testify that we planned it 5 years before implementing it, for example.
How long have you been active?
Oh, this tradition has more or less always existed, Louis. It has continued from generation to generation.
Do you often hold this kind of society dinner?
In general, once a year, but in actual fact it tends to be events that dictate our gatherings. Louis, let me keep you a moment. I would like to let you in on a secret before we begin, because I'm going to need your assistance. You see, the project I'm going to present concerns the territory of Louisiana in North America. It's currently Spanish territory, and I'm going to make the proposition to the Assembly for it to become French. My idea is to increase the territory of the United States. The first stone of this vast project consists of getting Spain to cede Louisiana to France. Once it becomes French, France will hand it over to the United States, which will then allow them to double the size of their territory. And that's where you come in. France and the United States, hand in hand, two democracies illuminating the world.
but why spread it over 2 phases? Why not announce the overall project immediately?
Unfortunately, if Spain were to hear that the intention of all this is to allow the United States to grow, they would never sign. Manuel Godoy is perfectly aware of President Washington's appetite. If the United States took Louisiana, Godoy would know full well that he will have lost the entire North American continent. Things must take place in several stages. Otherwise, the change will be too brutal, and he will have no choice but to reject the project. Take a look at them. Apart from President Washington, they all belong to monarchies. Do you really think they won't resist? Of course they'll fight, fearful as they are of losing their precious privileges. But the world needs visionaries, like you, like your mother. It's a pity Sarah isn't here to see it. She only knew about a tiny part of the project. I hope I can count on you, Louis. It's time to start now. I must ask you to keep it to yourself for the time being. Take a seat, follow the discussions. We'll have an opportunity to catch up later, and you'll be able to let me know your thoughts.
Blast it, Mother. You didn't know about everything. His project is commendable. Why tell me to beware? Could you have gotten it wrong?
My friends, I propose we get started. First of all, I would like to thank you for taking the time to come.
The honor is ours, my lord.
As per our custom, here we are all together to discuss the face of tomorrow's world. Even though there may be certain tensions between our nations, I must ask you to keep an open mind. As Sarah de Richet is unable to be among us, please welcome Louis de Richet, who will represent the Golden Order and will vote on its behalf when the time comes.
Welcome among us, Louis.
Welcome, Monsieur. I hope he'll be more effective than his mother regarding the protection of the King of France. The Order has proved particularly inefficient.
Come, Manuel, you're not going to spoil our visit. The Order's mission was not to protect King Louis XVI, as far as I am aware.
We are talking about the King of Divine Blood, for goodness sake. It seemed obvious to me he needed protecting. If the Golden Order wants to pride itself on being an influential organization, it should have kept him alive.
Alors lui, je lui ai dit de fermer sa gueule.
I'm sorry about the fate of the King of France, Duke Manuel. However, I'm surprised at your remark. How can a man like me have changed the course of things where a man like you, powerful, capable of influencing international politics, was unable to do any better?
Perhaps we may begin, Lord Mortimer. Certainly. I have a dream that our nations will continue to support each other, more now than ever before. A dream that, for the sake of common good, we will do what it takes to ensure stability in the modern world. I have a dream that we shall lead by example and ensure that the American territory may remain in peace.
Thank you for the thought, Lord Mortimer. But I don't see where you're leading.
I'm coming to it, Mr. President. I need not remind you that North America is currently divided between the United States on the east coast and Spain, which occupies the remaining 2/3 of the continent. Well, I propose that Spain cede the center of the continent to France, namely all of Louisiana.
Louisiana? But, well, it is not for sale. Lord Mortimer, I sincerely hope I have not come all this way just to hear you ramble on about what Spain should and should not do. When we went to all the trouble of gaining the territory a few years ago, it was not just to lose it today. Have I made myself clear?
What did I tell you, William? You speak of union, and yet here you are, about to tear us apart.
Duke Manuel, I perfectly understand you. But rest assured, you will soon adore my proposition. You shall see.
Well, since you give me the choice, my good fellow, allow me to doubt it. However, I am impatient to hear what Spain could possibly gain from the sale of Louisiana.
I never spoke of a sale, my good fellow.
What? I do not understand.
There is one more territory left to conquer, if I'm not mistaken, in the northwest. It is, of course, occupied by your notorious Indians, but...
We shall soon be rid of the savages, so that is not the question.
Duke Manuel, I believe that Spain should cede Louisiana to France, free of charge.
This is utterly grotesque, Lord Mortimer. What a strange example you set for your young protégé. Isn't that so, Monsieur de Richet? Do you understand anything of this proposition?
I must say, William, I find your project mostly disfavors me. I thought you were my friend.
And I am, Mr. President. That is why I'm doing everything in my power to calm your expansionist fervor. France, in Louisiana, should persuade you not to attempt anything to take the territory by force. Louisiana is a vast wetland, where you would needlessly lose most of your troops. It would weaken you, and offer certain nations the perfect opportunity to take back your famous United States. I am protecting you from yourself, George. Trust me.
I understand. But with friends like you, sir, I certainly don't need any more enemies. I hope you know what you're doing.
Am I imagining things, or does it look like Washington isn't aware of Mortimer's plan?
Not to put too fine a point on it, Lord Mortimer, but I doubt the Holy See would be in favor of Catholic Louisiana being handed over to secular revolutionaries and king killers.
I should think Monsieur de Richet has an opinion on this subject, does he not?
On the maps of Italy I saw in Mortimer's secret study, he had anticipated movements of troops across Italy. I wouldn't be surprised if he's planning an invasion of Italy by France, and if I push the notion a bit further, I can well imagine that Bonaparte's cannons, financed by the Order, will be used for that purpose. The noose is tightening around poor Piaggi's neck without him even realizing it.
I don't know if I'm the best person to speak about that, Your Eminence. Honestly, Your Eminence, I really don't see it that way.
Mi auguro che insegnerete l'educazione a questo giovanotto presuntuoso, Sir Gregory.
I hope that you will teach this pretentious young man some manners, Sir Gregory. It looks like I won't be just making friends here.
In any case, my lord, I doubt the English crown will agree.
Ich vill säkra in Emily. Ni Preußen wird diese Vereinbarung akzeptieren.
I assure you, Emily, the Prussian will never accept this agreement. Volner looks like he's set on ruining Mortimer's plan.
Duchess, I am persuaded that we shall find a common ground.
That's enough, William. These are grave times. We don't care about the fate of Louisiana. That worthless expanse of putrid swamps interests no one but yourself.
Speak for yourself, my friend.
Hold on there, Mr. Royal Gigolo. Lower the volume, and let Sir Gregory finish.
Holm, Godoy, and now Volner? Mortimer's adversaries are ready to tear each other to pieces, and he takes a malicious pleasure in watching it happen.
How dare
Gentlemen, let us try to remain calm.
There you are, William. See where your projects have taken us, as per usual. Chaos! That's enough. I'm tired. We shall continue this discussion tomorrow, but please be aware that your project will never be ratified. Those who are opposed to this project, follow me. Are you coming with us, Monsieur de Richet?
Come, Gregory, I think Louis would rather stay. Wouldn't you, Louis?
At the risk of displeasing you, my lord, I'd rather follow Sir Gregory. I don't think this is a place for the Order.
Louis? No.
Let him go, Mr. President. Everyone is free to choose.
can he be so blind? If he keeps this up, he'll lead our countries to their destruction.
Don't worry, we shall counter him, Sir Gregory.
We have to act immediately.
Calm down, Gregory. We only have to vote against his project, and that's it.
They haven't got a chance. Just one vote will suffice.
True. There is no chance of a unanimous vote. And he knows it. He must be preparing something else. What is he plotting? We shall shortly find out, so let's take the lead.
What do you mean by that?
His plan begins with Louisiana, which is still yours, Duke Manuel. He will begin with you. Expect to receive an envoy, French most probably. He will try to convince you by every possible means. Whatever he says, whatever he promises, you have just one response. It's war. If war is what you want, war is what you'll get. On your own territory, in your homes. Enough games. Spain will join the coalition against France and declare war. You too, Duchess Hillsborough. You will speak to the Queen so that Great Britain commits to going to war with France.
What do you expect from the Papal States, Sir Gregory?
What do you think? That they hold a mass? They will go to war, of course. What is it that you didn't understand in what I just told you? We all declare war on France. Militarily, politically, and financially.
And me, Sir Gregory? How can I help?
Louis, you have won my trust. The Order will have to act in France. But even before that, I'm going to need you. Right here and right now. Leave me now. I have to prepare for tomorrow. Let's meet early tomorrow morning for the next phase of the conference, which promises to be most exciting. Louis, I'd like to see you a moment, please. Thank you for signing with me today. I won't forget it. I'm going to need you. Help me counter Mortimer on his own ground. Right here. I'm sure he'll try and win some of you over. He needs our votes. You leave that to me. In the meantime, I must ask you to go and see President Washington and persuade him to trust me and join us.
I'll do my best.
You should go right away. There's no time to lose. William already has a head start on us.
Very well. I'll go right away.
Bon, c'est à partir de là qu'il faut commencer à prier. Est-ce qu'il y a vite fait des objets dans cette salle?
Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better. A pound. I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Caisse.
Chronicles of the Amber Princes. As I recall, Dorkin was my favorite character.
Donc le bug c'est qu'en fait, j'espère que ça va pas refaire, mais le bug en fait c'est que je ne peux pas rentrer dans les chambres alors qu'il faut que je rentre dans les chambres. Alors avant d'aller voir Washington, il y a ça.
Hey, Peru's name tag's fallen off, and his door's ajar.
Ok, c'est bon, on peut continuer. Est-ce qu'il y a des trucs chez lui? Tableau.
Dear Monsieur Peru, I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Ah, là il y a un truc. Non, c'est encore plein. Ok, alors, ça je l'avais déjà lu aussi. Il n'y a rien sur le balcon, non, il n'y a rien. Bon alors, qu'est-ce qui lui est arrivé à lui?
Leave me, Deriche. I don't feel like talking.
Your door was ajar, and given the state of your room, I was worried.
It's none of your business.
Very well. I'll leave you then. See you tomorrow, monsieur.
I asked you to leave me alone.
Bon. Alors du coup, Washington. Sa chambre, elle est où? Là, il y a Bonaparte. Ah, je crois qu'il est de l'autre côté. Ouais. Donc à partir de là, je redécouvre. Enfin, je découvre tout. C'est celle d'après. Voilà.
Locked.
J'ai pas la clé, je préfère récupérer la clé, je vais pas dépenser 4 points de talent juste pour un petit coffre. Même si ça doit être important.
A map of Connecticut.
Ok, pas d'abord. Ça, j'ai déjà dû le lire. Ah, la clé.
Locked. The president's personal reserve of laudanum, and judging by the quantity, can't go without it. Ah, there's also a letter.
Président, je vous fais réponse au plus vite. Nous en avons déjà parlé avant votre départ, mais les conseils que ça s'améliore pas. Je vous presse aussi mon conseil de stopper votre prise de laudanum instantanément. Instamment. Pardon. Je recherche déjà un substitut, vous ne me pouvez plus attendre, j'en ai bien peur. Votre trop grande consommation risque de nuire définitivement votre prochain mandat. Votre dépendance met en péril votre fonction, mon ami. Ah. Ah, puis j'ai de l'ombre. Ok, donc il est accro. Ok.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Du coup, il est où, Washington? Est-ce que je peux regarder dehors? Non, il est pas là.
Louis? What are you doing in my room?
Ah! Alors attends, qu'est-ce qui marche sur celui sur Washington, Washington, on sait rien en plus. Prétendre d'avoir dû me flatter, je pense pas que ça va marcher. On va être direct.
Mr. President, I won't beat around the bush. I came to persuade you not to follow Lord Mortimer on this one.
I appreciate your forthrightness, Louis. That will save us some time. Well, since you're here, can I get you something to drink?
No, thank you, Mr. President.
As you wish. Well, Louis, it's getting late, and this is not my first conference, so let's get straight to the point. You are here to motivate me to change sides.
I have decided not to follow Mortimer.
I noticed. Every man must make his own choice. What can we say? That's the political game. And you did not commit to supporting Mortimer, so there's nothing for you to feel bad about. So, what can I do for you?
Si je lui parle du projet Mortimer, ça va pas, non. Il a l'air assez, pas faible d'esprit, mais on va essayer de lui mentir.
Mr. President, Lord Mortimer treats you purely and simply like the least of his pawns. He gives you no explanation and then commits you to a project from which you have nothing to gain. But you know that more than I do. Is that what siding with Mortimer is all about?
I must confess that I don't entirely understand William lately. Anyway, you haven't really said what you wanted to say. Tell me, Louis, what have you come here to sell me?
You should join home.
And why would I do that?
Par devoir envers la mer, bon, je pense pas. Ça fout en Mortimer, hein. J'ai bien envie de le faire chanter sur ça, mais je pense pas que ça va. Allez, on va essayer ça.
Yet, hearing you speak, anyone would think that your closest ally is France.
Louis, I don't know.
Of course you intend to restore and foster an exchange with England. We both know what that means. It would weaken France's impact on American soil. From there to relinquishing your agreements with France is just one simple step.
You scored a point, Louis. Go on, I'm listening. Tell me what Sir Gregory has to offer that I don't already have with Lord Mortimer.
Conservez ce que vous avez déjà. Une petite fortune, je pense que l'argent il s'en fout. Ça va pas trop le convaincre, je pense. Lui promettre la Louisiane aussi. Ah, c'est risqué ça. Vous pourriez égaler les colonies. La paix.
By following Sir Gregory, you'll be sure to be on the right side of the bayonets, Mr. President. Sir Gregory is encouraging all his partisans to go to war against Lord Mortimer's supporters. Do you really want to go to war again?
Certainly not. I would not allow it. Louis, you convinced me. I congratulate you for your performance, because I didn't think it could happen.
I merely exposed the facts to you.
Don't spoil everything with your false modesty now. You really were very good. That's that. In any case, I shall follow you on this one. This may well arouse Lord Mortimer's wrath, but I must put the United States before anything else. Have we finished, Louis?
Absolutely, Mr. President. I shan't keep you any longer. Allow me to take my leave.
Good night, Louis. Get some rest. Tomorrow will be a very big day.
Well, that's one thing out of the way. The only thing left to do is wait for the conference to resume tomorrow morning.
Allez vous coucher. Bon, très bien. Elle est où ma chambre? L'air, le tour. Ok, c'est pas grave. Bon, c'est cool, on a réussi à le convaincre d'un coup. Louis, là.
Good evening, Monsieur le Français.
Duchess, you're here. What a charming surprise. I'm beginning to think you can't be without me.
You have managed to penetrate my armor, sir. Am I disturbing you, perhaps?
Mais pas du tout.
That's not what I said.
Ah, by the way, congratulations on choosing Sir Gregory this evening. You surprised me. I wasn't expecting it.
Why, Emily? Can't you read me like an open book?
Not as well as you read me, it would seem.
I'll teach you if you'd like.
There's nothing I'd like more.
Tell me, are these visits to Mortimer's always so intense?
Yes and no. My sister doesn't normally disappear like she has. Any news of your mother?
Est-ce qu'on lui dit? Est-ce qu'on lui dit? Est-ce qu'on lui dit? Ouais, non. Ça me fait... J'ai pas envie de lui mentir, mais c'est pour son bien. Y'a pas un truc gratuit là? Ouais, ça. Voilà.
I haven't had a minute to myself, what with the disappearance of Elizabeth and then the conference. Yes, I hope to continue my investigation tomorrow.
Do you have any leads?
No, not really. That's the problem.
Too bad. Can we change subject, please? I didn't come here to go through all that again.
Of course, it's late. You're right.
Ouah, ça se sert de l'anglaise.
Come, Louis.
My friends, do not worry. I assure you that Lord Mortimer's plan will never see the light of day. I shall deal with informing our allies, but for the time being, I need you to make a stand.
What do you think about Monsieur de Richet?
I don't know yet. I feel there's great potential in him.
He looks like he can be trusted.
Why isn't he with us? He was opposed to Mortimer.
I'll wait and see. I'm still not sure of his position.
And Duchess Hillsborough, why isn't she here?
She's busy. Don't worry about her.
Oh, isn't it time to replace her?
Not so fast, sir. She is an important figure. We want to have a little more faith in her.
What are we going to do about Washington?
He will be a hard nut to crack. On our chessboard, he is Mortimer's king.
Don't worry. Mr. President only wants one thing. To keep his dear America united. He won't jeopardize everything he has achieved on a whim.
He has been serving Mortimer for quite some time. It won't be easy to bring him around.
Pourtant, je l'ai fait.
I have asked Monsieur de Richet to approach him. Let us have faith in him. I sense that Mr. Peru is about to surprise us too.
Yet he is Mortimer's strong arm in France.
He knows his time has come, and I believe he's intelligent enough to realize it means he is no longer any use to Mortimer. Do you feel all right, Mr. Godoy? You haven't said a word.
Please excuse me, gentlemen. I feel tired.
Oh, I see. I think it is high time you left us then. Now!
Ils sont au courant de mes visions?
Emily? Emily? Are you there?
Sir, the conference is about to begin. You are expected in the conference room.
Tell them I'm coming. Thank you.
Come
game is back on.
My friends, the conference is about to begin. Please excuse me if I troubled you last night with my project. I understand that you might well have a few questions to ask. As you know, the final vote will be cast in a few days. This morning's aim is to answer your questions and check the temperature of your respective positions so that we may reach a greater understanding.
As always, Lord Mortimer.
We parted in perfect disagreement, my lord. Where would you like us to take it from?
Come, sir. Please let William believe he still has a chance of winning us over. Otherwise, his imprecations will lack panache, and we shall be bored stiff.
Oh, let me assure you, I am convinced that a good night's sleep has brought sound advice, and that this morning will be even more interesting. Therefore, I would like to go around the table in order to hear everyone's first impressions.
Well, I am still firmly against it, even though my choice won't count.
Against.
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 And you, Luke Manuel?
Against, of course.
Well, as for me, I am for Lord Mortimer's project, despite Duchess Hillsborough's overwhelmingly convincing nocturnal attentions.
What? So Emily was playing at trying to win over guests last night?
It was nothing more than a friendly little chat, of course.
How could it be otherwise? And by the way, remember me to your husband when you see him. And you, President Washington, what is your position?
Well, you see, Monsieur Bonaparte, I would rather you'd have forgotten me for a minute. William, I am sorry, but I cannot follow you this time.
George? What?
I am against William. Please excuse me. I cannot commit the United States to such an enterprise. It's just too risky.
Well, that leaves just yourself and Monsieur Peru, Louis.
You're all making me sick. Look at yourselves.
What?
You are pathetic!
Have you been drinking or what?
There you are, quibbling away. My lord do this, and Madame Duchess that. You know very well that we're nothing but puppets on a damn string.
Jacques, Camille.
Let's end the charade. It's over.
Jacques.
My lord, thank you for everything you've done for me over the years. But it didn't come for free. And now I see the price is too high to pay. I'll stop.
Come, Jacques, we'll talk it over.
No, I'm finished. I want my freedom back, my lord.
Oh,
I shall
shit.
no longer work for you.
Non.
Wait!
De Richet, you just can't help it, can you? Stop trying to play the hero, man!
Il a un gosse. Attends, que je dise pas de conneries. Ah. Perru. Bon, la psychologie, ça marche sur lui.
Monsieur, I know I don't really know you, but you seem like a decent person.
I have done so many horrible things.
You blame yourself, I can see that. Everything's not lost.
I don't want to do bad things anymore.
You can take control of yourself again. You can fix whatever it is you've done.
Do you really believe that?
Of course, Jacques. You'll have all the time you need.
L'ordre, non, je pense pas. Home non plus. Ah, ça me fait peur. Déjà ça.
I'm sure we can work things out.
But you don't know him.
Let's stay united, Jack. He's nothing without us.
Really?
Trust me. Jack, don't shoot. Give me the gun. Come on.
Sorry, Louis.
Oh, sérieux? Putain, c'est dégueulasse. Oh. Bon, au moins j'ai baisé Emily. Oh merde! Oh, j'étais sûr qu'on était en ferme, vu que c'est quelqu'un de ferme et tout. Ah, chier. Bon. Écoute. Alors, 4 points disponibles. On va prendre 2 diversions. Hop. Ah, chier. Bon. Bon, bah, on s'en fait 2.
I don't understand. I spoke to him only recently.
Monsieur Peru has lost his mind. It's obvious.
Yet another way for the French to make a spectacle of themselves. Well, once again it has worked.
My friends, let us settle down, please. We are all in shock, of course. Let us praise Louis's gesture anyway. You did what you could.
Yes, it was very noble of you, Louis.
It wasn't your fault.
There was nothing else you could have done.
I think everyone needs a little rest. Can you stay a moment?
Of course.
Ah, je suis quand même déçu, hein. Mais bon. Science, bof. Ces deux-là, je ne peux pas les prendre. Donc écoute. Donc c'est quoi? Linguistique, occultisme et érudition. Il semble que chez lui j'avais tout pris. Oui, je fouille ton bureau, hein, je m'en fous, ça j'avais déjà regardé. Bon.
Louis, I wanted to talk to you a moment about what has happened. All this is tragic, but I wanted to thank you for doing what you could.
I wasn't able to save him.
You couldn't, Louis. You mustn't blame yourself. It is not your fault.
Of course, but I thought I could help him.
I guess it was too late. Don't torture yourself. Look what you've done. I admire what you did. Who else among all these great luminaries of the modern world even raised a finger? No one. You were the only one who tried to do anything. What a waste.
What are your plans now?
What do you mean?
For the conference. After the disappearances of both Elizabeth Adams and my mother, and now the death of Mr. Perlu, I should imagine that your guests are all packing their bags.
This might come as a bit of a shock to you, perhaps because it was so difficult to bring all these figures together. But I'm convinced that none of them is preparing to leave.
Are you serious?
They are all very experienced politicians, and though they are, of course, affected by the situation, they know full well that such an opportunity will not come again for a long, long time, if ever. They each represent their nation, and know full well that what is at stake here is far greater than the death of poor Monsieur Peru. You'll see. I am confident that they will all be ready to resume the conference.
If you say so. Allow me to take my leave, please.
Of course. You ought to get some rest. Oh, Louis, one more thing, please. What a pity you didn't support me during the conference. I hope I can count on you on the day of the vote. This major project needs men like you, Louis.
On va lui mettre le doute.
And you never know, right? Maybe by then, I'll see things differently.
Well, thank you for allowing me to believe in that possibility, Louis. From here on, I shall make it my mission to persuade you to change your vote.
Be my guest. But I hope your arguments are very, very persuasive, because I'm not the only one who isn't on your side.
Oh, rest assured, I am working on it.
Very well. I'll see you later, my lord.
Bon. Mais allez. Bon, après, je me dis que si Jacques peut mourir, c'est qu'il est peut-être pas aussi important que ça. Je me dis, si on autorise la mort de quelqu'un, c'est que bon, il doit aider sûrement, mais pas autant que ça. Je veux dire, je suis pas en plein game over. Est-ce que je peux aller dans les chambres? Ouais.
Congratulations, Monsieur de Richet. You made the right decision at the conference. What can I do for you?
I was wondering if you could spare me a moment. I'd like to speak about what happened to Monsieur Peru.
And I, Monsieur, would rather not. Frankly, I believe that he more than deserved his fate. Don't expect me to feel sorry for him.
You seem to have taken a personal stance. Am I wrong?
Ever since I found out that traces incriminating him were found next to Elizabeth's body. You can be sure that given the opportunity, I would have put a bullet in his mouth myself.
Okay.
Excuse me. Wrong room.
Bon, on va parler un peu à tout le monde. Parce qu'il y a quand même un mec qui s'est juste un petit peu tiré une balle, donc bon. Là, c'est la chambre de l'autre, là, donc ça sert à rien. Washington.
Amber.
Ah, cool. Moi, lui, il me semble que j'avais fait tout. Par là.
Yes, sir.
Your guess is not sufficient. Tell the others, for crying out loud. Remember to close my window once you've done my room. This isn't Corsica, you know. I'm freezing.
Of course, sir. I'll see to it straight away.
Good. Proceed.
Yes, sir.
Monsieur Bonaparte.
Sorry, Dorishi. I have no time for traitors such as yourself.
I beg your pardon?
If you are here, it's because Lord Mortimer agreed to include you. And what's the first thing that you do? You betray him by following Sir Gregory and bending over backwards to turn Washington against him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was free to vote as I pleased. I didn't realize I had to vote for Lord Mortimer in order to show my gratitude toward him. Hey, he invited me here to come and look for my missing mother during his high society party. I'm sorry, truly sorry. I don't know all your customs yet.
It's just common decency that when invited to a man's castle, you don't go and to pee on his boots. Is it too much to ask?
I guess it is.
Il vénère? Qu'est-ce que t'es vénère?
I am sorry, sir, but you are unable to access Monsieur Peru's room while we gather his personal effects.
Logique. Tiens, est-ce que je peux aller dans sa chambre, Bonaparte? Ça, je l'avais vu. Donc là, c'est la chambre de Bonaparte, Émilie.
No answer. Nothing. Emily? Emily, are you there? Emily!
Yes. Louis, is that you?
Yes, let me in.
I'm sorry, Louis. I don't feel very well. I'll see you later.
Are you sure everything's all right? Are you still there?
Bon. Tiens, l'espagnol. Je crois que je suis jamais allé dans sa chambre, lui.
Monsieur de Richet, I have no time. I was about to join Sir Gregory. Come back later.
I wanted to talk to you a moment and...
I am expected. I'm sorry. We shall talk later.
Là, c'est ma chambre. Cardinal, je peux pas aller le voir. Ok. Je vais faire une visite du rez-de-chaussée. Juste. Ah, bah tiens, il est là. Je vais peut-être lui parler.
Your Eminence.
Ah, Louis. You were admirable. You didn't manage to save Peru. But whatever you do, don't blame yourself. You did your best.
Thank you, Your Eminence.
It's not going to help matters for Mortimer. Now he has one less vote for the conference.
You don't seem too affected by it, though.
Louis, I do not appreciate your remark, which I will put down to the indiscretions of youth. I am here in the interests of the Holy See. But I am above all a Christian, and it hurts me to see lost souls take a wrong turn.
Of course. But even with such a setback, I'd still be wary of Mortimer. I sense he has still a few surprises in store for us.
Oh, I fully agree with you. I've been told about Washington. Congratulations. I must admit, though, when I first saw you, I would never have put money on you succeeding.
Bon, moi non plus.
Well, I was wrong.
Thank you, Your Eminence.
On that note, I shall leave you, Louis. I see you later.
Ah, je peux pas aller en bas. Bon, bah alors. Comme ça. Adams. Michel. Ok.
Next time, I'll listen to my mother. Not a day has gone by without something happening to me. What now?
Louis, open up, please.
Coming, Mr. President, I'm coming.
Louis. Ah, there you are at last.
Yes,
I just saw your mother. She was accompanied by Emily, and they both went into the Duchess's room. I tried to join them, but I was refused entry. Louis, this does not bode well.
Shit. Emily might want to avenge her sister. I must act quickly.
You're right, Mr. President. Thank you.
Ah, c'est pour ça qu'elle voulait pas m'ouvrir. Chambre d'Émilie. C'est où? C'est de l'autre côté.
I do believe that's Emily's voice. I can't understand what she's saying. I can't open it. It must be blocked on the other side. I'll have to find another way in, quick. Emily! Emily, are you there? Answer me. Emily! I have to get inside Emily's room through the... Shit! It's locked. No way. It's too sturdy.
Huh. It's as if there are several people inside.
Once again, you're the one who's the victim in all this.
A letter from
What
William
are you on
the
about
Younger,
now? I
addressed
should
to
never
Emily.
have told you what
He's the
happened to
present
me.
Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has
I'm not that
indeed some
naive.
powerful
I
backers.
know you easily.
Madam.
Stop. We'll end up losing everything if you keep on.
What on earth is... You... Mother?
How dare you do this to me? You can talk. After everything I've done for you. You are joking, I hope, right? I gave you my life. That's enough, Emma. Now that Louis is here, you will leave Sarah alone. Cease your revenge immediately. What? If you think you're going to... Louis, help me, I beg you. I can no longer reason with her. I am Emily. Quit playing games. What? Honestly, don't be ridiculous. No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart. After everything we've been through together.
Yes, well...
Don't you dare bring him into this. This is between you and me. I ask for nothing more, so stop taking it out on Sarah. You pretty little bitch. How dare you? Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? You are joking, I hope. I'm the one who told you everything that's been going on while you were away. Go on then. That's what you want, isn't it? You want to kill me. Go on then, shoot! After all the trouble I've gone through to find you. Go on. What are you waiting for? Here, Louis, take this.
Wait, what's going...
An entire life for this. Go on, shoot! Sorry, Louis, I can't shoot her. She's my sister. That's enough, Emma. Louis, out of the way. She's dangerous. Don't trust her. What are you trying to do? Louis, out of the way. I am not Emma. Come on, Louis, tell her who the real Emily is.
Wait,
That's right, Louis. I'm fed up with this little game. Tell him who the real Emily is.
Why do these things always happen to me?
Well, Louis, come on, you know how to tell us apart, right?
No.
Yes, but I'd like to ask you a few questions to make sure there's no doubt.
Rational and open, Louis. Let's see. How can I tell them apart? Wait, I've got an idea.
On the night of our arrival...
Celle d'en face.
Who was with us on the wharf?
Cardinal Piaggi. He was with us from when we started traveling by ship. We arrived on the same boat. I already told her, Louis. Another question, then. I'm the one who told you.
Right. Let's find something else. Ah, yes. Let's speak about my arrival at the manor.
Once at the manor, Sir Gregory introduced himself to us. Then, we split up into two groups. What group was I in?
It won't work, Louis. She knows already. I told her. Shut up. I'm the one who told you. You left with Sir Gregory and Cardinal Piaggi, and you ran into Miss Adams. I told you she knew.
Very well.
Let's try something else.
On the first night, we went up to bed, but I wasn't tired. I went for a little stroll.
Toujours celle d'en face. Oh, putain, je me souviens même plus, c'était il y a longtemps.
Do you remember if we saw each other that night or not?
Not at all. Don't think you're going to get away with this deception so easily. I can assure you, you're going to regret pretending to be me once Louis has exposed you.
Right. I don't think I'll get very far like this. I'll have to find something better.
Oh, I don't think I'll even wait until he's finished.
Take it easy now.
Are you mad, Louis?
Lower your arm.
I better act quickly if I don't want things to get out of hand.
Come on, she's putting one over on you. Look at yourself for crying out loud. You were prepared to shoot me down.
In the secret room behind the study. Talk to them about what you've been doing. Maybe they haven't spoken about it between each other yet.
On the night of the disappearance of Elizabeth Adams.
What about it? What do you want to know about that night?
Before going to bed, we found ourselves in an odd situation.
You surprised me searching through Mortimer's secret gallery. Behind the chimney. You were looking for clues about your mother. That's enough! I've had enough of this charade. Louis, there's only one way to tell us apart. There's just one thing I didn't tell her about in detail. Too bad for you, Emma. I didn't want it to come to this, but you leave me no choice. Ask her about you and I. You just lost, Emma. I indeed didn't tell you everything about it. Come, Louis. Speak about our intimacy.
Very well, let's talk about us.
crois que psychologie, ça marche pas sur elle. Amy... Ah si.
Last night, you came to visit me, and I can't help wondering why. Why did you come to my room?
Louis, you must be mistaken. I did not go to your room last night, and that's where your little game ends, Emma. Because I never told you about it. So, there you can't answer. What? No! You didn't do that. I didn't want you to be jealous of Louis. Remember how you always used to react whenever you felt you were competing against a man? You dirty...
That's enough. I've had enough of this charade. That's enough, both of you. Now I know who the real Emily is.
Alors attends, hier soir. Bah, du coup, elle est venue hier soir. Oui, on a baisé. Donc du coup, Emily est derrière moi.
You are Emily Hillsborough.
I knew you wouldn't get it wrong, Louis. No! You little bitch! Watch out, Louis! No!
Hell, what have I done?
See what you've done. See.
Louis? What on earth is going...
Mother!
Go. You must leave. Everyone's going to arrive.
Louis, what's going on?
Duchess, is everything all right?
Go! Go, Mother! No one must find you here.
Go.
Come, Louis. There's nothing more you can do.
But I...
Leave us.
Emily, what's going on?
Mother, go to the crypt. I'll meet you there.
I'll be waiting for you.
Emily.
Madam, I'm coming in.
It was bound to end like this, Louis. Let me stay with her, please. Go, I'll cover you.
Bon. Alors, ah non. Alors on m'a mis profiler, c'est-à-dire que je vais juste... Vous pensez avoir identifié la vraie Emily. Ça me rassure pas.
Good God! They're all here. They must have heard the gunshot.
Where is Lord Mortimer?
Can anyone hear anything through the door?
Did you hear that? I was not dreaming, was I?
Certainly not, Duke Godoy.
What's going on?
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, and she isn't answering.
Gentlemen, go back to your rooms. Go back to your rooms. I shall find out from Lord Mortimer what this is all about. Thank you.
Bon. Alors, le jardin.
The lock is surrounded by a triple circle.
J'ai pas la clé.
Amber crystals.
Regarde s'il n'y a pas des objets en même temps.
Song of Roland. Roland feeleth his death is near. His brain is oozing by either ear. With his brain oozing, it's already remarkable that he can feel anything.
Louis! At last, there you are.
Mother, wait,
Come, we have to be quick.
No, wait, Mother,
Time is running out, Louis. First, we must...
No! That's enough. I won't go a step further unless you explain to me what is going on here. I'm begging you. Talk to me.
You must trust me, my son. You are not ready yet.
You're the one who should trust me. Tell me what's happening.
You would never believe me.
I came all the way here for you. Now I found you. I'm ready, Mother.
If only... Louis, I have always taught you to keep your mind open and rational. I know you are going to find this hard to believe, but what I am going to reveal to you is entirely true. Many years ago, I found out that demons really do live among us.
I beg your pardon?
And that they can influence our thoughts.
Mother, listen to yourself. I know you're exhausted, but for crying out loud, listen to what you're saying. Demons? What next? An ancient monster with a head like an octopus? What do your demons look like? Have they got horns and a pointed tail?
No, these are not creatures with billy goat's legs. Forget your Christian folklore. Imagine them more as parasitic spirits. They possess their hosts and direct them from inside.
Parasitic spirits?
Yes, they are capable of going from one body to another as they see fit. And 2 of them are present on this island.
Right. So let me guess. Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory, right?
You felt it too?
No, even if Home does look the part. But I don't know who else could do it, given that we're on their territory.
Many years ago, well before you were born, I crossed paths with one of them. Since then, I've spent my life trying to find it again. When we recovered the Alizif, I was persuaded that von Burchard was working for this demon in one way or another. But I thought he would hand the book to a middleman during this conference. That's where I made an error that could well turn out to be fatal. The one who Burchard was meant to give the book to was none other than the demon in person, Mortimer. Not to mention that Home had sent Volner to get it for him.
Home and Mortimer are demons?
They both seem to disagree about many things, but I'll admit I never knew exactly why. There are many of them, Louis, not just those 2.
Mother, have you any proof to support any of this?
Of course, but you do too. You had everything laid out in front of you. Didn't you notice anything?
I must admit, I found it difficult to understand how and why Mortimer didn't have a place in history.
On the continent, Mortimer and Home are mere dandies who organize society balls. History forgets them with a disconcerting facility. No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents.
Well, those property deeds across the world, all signed by the same hand, and over several centuries.
I am proud of you, Louis.
I found your notes, written in lemon juice.
Where all eyes size you up. At one stage, I was so afraid of losing my mind that I noted everything down. Congratulations, Louis. Wait, please tell me you didn't open Pandora's box.
The urn? No, I didn't. Why?
Good. We'll deal with it later.
I went beyond the Nightmare Mother.
You understood the Masonic date.
1191.
Of course! It was during that siege that the demon took possession of Sir Mortimer. They spent a whole night in conversation until the early hours of the morning. Mortimer had passed the test. He had charmed the demon, and so it chose him to be its host for centuries to come. But tell me, did you find his secret study?
I did indeed.
Did you see his maps of the world?
He has contacts the world over.
Yes, I've been developing the Golden Order across the world for many years, and I've never seen anyone with such influence. It's simply inhuman.
You mean the conference?
How can you explain that someone manages to bring together so many important figures without anyone knowing?
And without any security or personnel.
Louis, I am proud of you. You came all this way. You found me. You have surpassed me.
You taught me everything I know. Right. How did it all begin?
I saw him.
What do you mean you saw him?
I was 20 years old. I was young and carefree. I traveled the world in search of adventure. In the Persian Gulf, we came across an ancient grimoire that became unlocked, composed of 7 parts. Each one was a book in itself, set in a sort of metal armor that structured the whole thing. When all the volumes were brought together, they formed a single book. On my return to Paris, I set to studying these pages. I spent all my days and nights studying them.
Oh, I can imagine you doing that.
But the writing was in a language I had never seen before, developed well before Sumerian, in my opinion. So I got the idea to form a small occult circle composed of all the major names in the occult world to see if anyone else could crack it.
And you found no one.
And I found someone, Louis. I found him, or rather he found me. He was young, charismatic, he was flamboyant.
You mean Mortimer?
He was a veritable mine of knowledge. I showed him the book, and he was able to decipher a few passages. We spent several months together studying the pages.
He was already old in those days, wasn't he? So you recognized him when you arrived on the island, right?
No, he wasn't in that body. But I know it was him. I swear it was him. The way he spoke, his posture, a few of his intonations, his mannerisms.
Wait a minute. You were talking about 60 years ago. I've lost the thread.
Yes, sorry. He helped me understand certain passages until I realized that he only translated a few parts for me. But I had aroused his interest. It was too late.
How so?
I mean to say he manipulated me. He used me, and in the end, he stole the book with all its secrets.
Did he ever go to your place?
Not once. At least I don't think so. But before disappearing, he proposed a pact between us. He proposed that I follow him and let him teach me, allow him to bring me up.
And you refused, of course.
Why, naturally, Louis. You don't make deals with the devil. After that, I spent my whole life looking for him. 3 years later, in Berlin, I just missed him. In London, I lost 6 members of the Order in a chase. In 1741, in Tunisia, I found a sect of fanatics who had crossed paths with him once. 1741, in Poland. 1749, in India.
8 years ago in Venice.
We agreed never to speak about what happened in Venice, Louis.
You agreed, and that was before you spoke to me about demons. Wait, the baby we delivered, you and me, that night in Venice, did he have anything to do with Lord Mortimer?
The child was his son.
We stole his son? Are you insane? I always thought we took him to save him.
That was the case. It was precisely to save him from his father.
Need I remind you the mother died during childbirth? What became of the child?
Later. For the moment, that is not the key issue here. Once we found the Al-Azif in Paris, I followed von Borchart's trail here. I didn't think it would lead me straight to the demon. It was careless of me. He toyed with me for a few days, until I caught on, until I saw him as he was. But he had no intention of letting me leave. We are all his pawns, Louis, and if we don't want to spend the rest of our lives turning round in circles here, we must absolutely get off this island. All right, can we move on?
Wait a minute. One last thing. I want to know what happened with Elizabeth Adams.
Louis, we haven't time for those details.
I'm sorry, Mother, but I want to know.
She was one of the receptacles for these monsters. I met her parents when she was born. One of the demons got inside her. The demon used her to spy on her father, John Adams. He is one of the founding fathers and vice president of the United States, you know.
Mortimer possessed her?
No, I don't think it was Mortimer. Her father, John Adams, hired me to tend to her, but the evil in her was too deep. In spite of the various treatments I tried on her, I never succeeded in getting it out of her. It's not something I'm proud of, Louis, but I had to try everything.
Mother, did you kill her?
Of course not. Don't be stupid. I had no interest in getting rid of her.
I want to know what happened between you and Emily's sister.
Great responsibility often brings difficult choices, Louis. That's all you need to know.
Non, je dois tout dépenser.
All right, but you're not getting away with it so lightly. Once we get back to Paris, be sure I won't be letting it go.
We'll see in Paris, then.
What did you negotiate about the Al-Azif with Volner?
Absolutely nothing. I managed to pull the wool over his eyes until I found a way to flee.
What was going on with the cannons in Tuscany?
It was nothing.
Since when does the Order finance wars?
The cannons for that Bonaparte fellow? Listen, once in the lion's den, I did whatever I could to appear legitimate. So yes, I pretended to be interested in Mortimer's project about a young military man who was seeking funding for a foundry in Tuscany. Between you and me, if buying China would have enabled me to escape, I would have signed without hesitation.
Samuel Ritter du Choix, you wanted to send me a letter about Godoy.
I wanted you to run a check on Duke Manuel. But frankly, it doesn't really matter anymore now. Godoy is just a pawn like the others. He is not the one I was looking for.
You know, I found your package under a wharf plank.
As a matter of fact, I needed it yesterday. I wasn't expecting anyone to take it.
On the evening of my arrival, Cardinal Piaggi came looking for you. He was determined to give you a letter.
More of his lists. Louis, I think I know what's in that letter, and I beseech you to believe that it is the least of our worries. We can sort that out later.
Are you going to tell me what happened to your hand?
Better than that. I shall show you.
Good. I think that's about right. We shall speak about it once we get back to France.
Great actions for humanity have been decided by demons for centuries, Louis. They are playing with our destiny. We are their slaves. And it's time for it to stop. By the way, what was Mortimer's project at this conference?
He demands that the Spanish hand over Louisiana to France.
Oh, knowing him, it won't stop there. We should do our utmost to put a stop to Mortimer's plans. But for the time being, there are more pressing matters.
Are you going to tell me why we're here?
There. That's why we are here.
Ok. Euh, 4 points disponibles. Science, je pense pas.
Reassure me, we aren't going to have to force that one, are we?
I don't think we're even capable of doing it. You're going to have to find a way to open it.
Why, of course. And what's inside?
Something to vanquish them with?
Perfect. So, how does it open?
We'll need several keys. I found a note from the architect who conceived the mechanism in Mortimer's secret study. We have to first gather 5 objects before we try anything.
Are the 5 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and all we need to match up the dates between the different calendars.
Ok.
Why a cross?
Well, I haven't the foggiest idea, but it just so happens that's what you are going to use to activate the mechanism. I found the one Mortimer kept. It belonged to Cardinal Guibert, better known by the name of Pope Clement III.
Perfect. Where is it?
Unfortunately, I've lost it. When I lost my hand, I went dashing out, and it must have fallen from my pocket.
Remember, Mother. I'm certain you can remember.
Let me think.
You were running.
I was bleeding to death.
You remember the pain.
I thought I was going to faint. Yes, I remember. I don't think it can be far, can it?
Would you have lost it outside?
No, I don't think so. It must be in the area. I don't remember going up with it.
Perfect. I'll search the crypt before leaving. Some nails?
Don't ask me. I'm not the one who made the mechanism, you know. When I arrived, there were already a few of them inserted, so I didn't have to worry about those. On the other hand, I remember seeing some in Mortimer's secret study, behind his nightmare.
And a golden cup? Yes. Yes, I saw them too.
Perfect. It will be easy for you to find them then. You need 3 of them.
Very well.
You remember what to do about the rollers. 1191 to enter, and 6466 to exit.
Of course. An exegesis. Anything else?
Did you manage to vanquish the Medusa?
To open the chimney? Yes, absolutely.
So you've already come across it. It's the Bible of Judas that is exposed in the secret room behind the chimney.
Why do they call it an exegesis?
Because that's what it is, and not an apocryphal Bible, strictly speaking. It's the study of a text with a summary, not an actual Bible. Anyway, well done for the Gorgon. You did well. You didn't get tricked by the light bouncing back.
Thanks. Do you think I can take it safely?
We haven't got a choice, Louis. Without it, we won't be able to work out this cursed mechanism.
This is the book in which you left your correspondence with Duchess Hillsborough, isn't it?
That's right.
You still believe it's in the tower room, don't you?
I don't know. There is only one way to find out, though.
Right. I shall go and see. There's one in the portrait gallery.
Yes, but it's enormous. If you don't want to have to go back and forth several times, then I suggest you get a smaller one.
What did you do then?
I didn't think I'd need one. I started without one, and I lost my hand before I did need one. And you can see the result.
What do you mean by the concordance of dates, exactly?
Don't worry about that. We already have them. They are written on the back of the message I just gave you. One last thing before you go. Be very careful. If you come across anyone, they can all potentially be spies of Mortimer or Holm. Don't ever confide in anyone because a demon can slip inside them at any moment.
Wait, not all of them, though. Take Washington.
Especially Washington. He's been conditioned by Mortimer for years. Look at them, for crying out loud. How do you explain their behavior otherwise? The most influential politicians in the Western world gather together without the least protection, without a single aid to assist them, to participate in a conference during which the guests start dropping like flies. Me, Adams, Peru, Hillsborough. Look at the number of calamities that have happened over the past few days. And not one of them has asked to leave the island? Do you find that normal? You'll see. Go up to the manor to look for the keys, and I wager not one of them will speak to you about my being in Emily's room.
Do you think so?
Go on, you'll see. And come back with all the objects in one go. Time is against us. And remember, the code to get out of the secret office is 6466.
Bien. Du coup, je n'ai pas d'autre. Alors, on va fouiller un peu la crypte d'abord.
Famous cross of Clement III. Her pay, a Russian ruble. I wonder what it'd be worth today.
You ought to go, Louis. If someone finds us here, the situation might well become seriously complicated.
Ouais, on verra ça quand on aura tous les objets. Ok. Ensuite. Là, il n'y a rien d'autre. Alors ça déjà trouvé. Donc dans le bureau, salle de la tour, galerie des portraits. Ok. Là je suis où là? Ah bah là je suis dans la galerie des portraits. Et donc là je dois trouver... Alors elle avait dit que c'était...
Right. It's definitely an armillary sphere, but I have to find one that I can take with me. Otherwise I risk drawing too much attention to my comings and goings. Now, where can I find a smaller... Right. Let's see if the statues are in place yet. That statue is not positioned correctly. Open sesame. So that's Pandora's box? An urn? Mother seemed worried that I was able to open it. I wonder why. So, I did well not to touch it. So that's the exegesis of Judas. I hope Mortimer doesn't read it very often. Otherwise he's going to notice that someone's stolen it. But that's just too bad. I need it.
Ok, ça c'est bon.
Caesar's laurel wreath. Mortimer really is what my mother says he is. It could mean... No, that's impossible. No, not Caesar. And given all the relics preserved here, it wouldn't surprise me if Mortimer claimed it was Excalibur. The Ring of the Nibelungs. Even if Mortimer is several centuries old, I don't see what part he has in this legend. Right. I've got what I need. Now let's not waste any more time.
Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it.
Ça, c'est bon. Salle de la tour. Peut-être un modèle de la sphère ici. Non. Ah, attends, je peux rentrer là peut-être. Ah bah non, bon, ici ça sert à rien. On va éviter de leur parler.
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later. Chronicles of the Amber Princess. As I recall, Dorkin was my favorite character. A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of water.
La chambre de la tour, par là.
Ah, Louis. Glad you're here.
Blasted. He's gonna talk about my mother.
Come and see what I've found. There are pieces of paper in the ashes of the chimney. Someone's been burning something here.
Incredible. He doesn't seem to want to speak to me about what happened between my mother and the Hillsborough sisters.
Show me a little.
Look, it's possible to distinguish two different writing styles.
The rest of the correspondence between my mother and Emma.
Someone tried to burn an exchange of messages. I'm certain there must be more.
Shit. What on earth is he doing?
Dis la vérité, surtout pas.
If you want my opinion, a servant must have burnt some old papers. That's all.
Why, of course. You very nearly made me think that you were trying to hide something, Louis. No, I'm sure there must be other hidden messages.
He won't let go. He's going to work his way back to the Bible if he continues. Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured. For what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays. chest with the occult symbol representing air. The Bible's still there.
Allez, on se casse. Ok, ça c'est fait. Les clous, c'est dans le bureau de Mortimer. Merde, c'est où son... Est-ce que l'acheter 100 ? Ah, voilà, c'était là. J'ai fait le tour pour rien.
Painting. Looks unfinished. Piece by Lord Mortimer, I presume. A rather avant-garde technique. A titan against men. How ironic. This time, it'll be a lot quicker. If I remember rightly, the code was 1191. Course.
Alors, où est-ce qu'ils sont ces clous?
Weaknesses of the Human Psyche by Gilhelm Trimor. Gilhelm Trimor. Trimor. An anagram of Mortimer. Wow. Arrogant enough to publish writings on mental control. Full view of everyone. I wonder who he's writing for. There. Those are the nails I was looking noticed they were old and rusty. But I hadn't noticed these traces of... Could that be blood? Is it really the relic of the Holy Cross? I can hardly believe it. A hand of tarot cards. I should have learned my lessons in card reading a little better.
Je regarde s'il n'y a rien à choper ici.
Feathers, pigeons probably. A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of fire.
Golden elixir. Consume without excess.
A map of Europe. Someone's written 26 million in France. It's locked.
Alors...
All right, come on. Let's get out of here. 6466, if I remember correctly.
Ah, on va complètement fouiller le rez-de-chaussée. Comme ça. On va voir si je peux trouver la sphère. Il peut peut-être m'aider.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Ah, Durishe. Congratulations for your efforts with Washington. I see that Sir Gregory did well to trust you. What can I do for you?
I'm dreaming. My mother was right. He's not going to tell me one word about what happened to Emily.
To tell you the truth, I'm in search of an armillary sphere. You wouldn't know where I can find it, would you?
Well, well. So you do have a passion for astronomy. Von Wollner has already bored me quite enough with all of his endless stories. You ought to concentrate, Louis. Politics is an art that requires all one's attention. Refrain from spreading yourself too thin, and leave stargazing to the poets.
What can I say? I'm only...
Ask Wollner. I am sure he must have it among his effects.
Perfect.
Thank you, my Lord Duke.
Leave me now.
See you later.
Bon, j'ai une piste. Quand même faire le tour vite fait du rez-de-chaussée. Comme ça, si je peux récupérer des objets ou n'importe. Ok, là il n'y a rien. Là sur la table il n'y a rien. voir dans les trucs de... Ça doit être ça sur les trucs de collection. Ah non, il y a les notes de Richet et les... D'accord. Ça, je crois pas que j'ai la clé. Je peux déverrouiller pour un, allez.
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later. All right. I've retrieved everything.
Voilà, ça.
Seriously.
Et ça, c'est bon. Ok. J'ai fait ça. Ah, attends. Là, j'ai fait la salle à manger. Ok. Ou alors non. Et voilà, j'ai fait le grand hall, la salle à manger et la bibliothèque. Alors, ici.
Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better. Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it.
Ok, là, il n'y a rien. Pièce de collection. Ça, on l'avait déjà vu.
Celia. That name means nothing to me. Liberty or Death by Regnault. Well, I'll take Liberty, please. But I do understand his choice, even though it seems radical.
Attends, je suis venu par où? Non, je suis venu par là.
Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
Pièce.
Romney painted Lady Hamilton as Circe.
faire l'étage. Est-ce que je peux pas aller par là, je suppose? Non. Faire un tour vite fait dans cette salle.
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Tiens, bah la porte.
Not too shocked.
I beg your pardon?
About Peru this morning. I asked you if you weren't too shocked by it all.
And yourself? Not too shook up?
The only thing that matters to me about that stupid man Peru is the disastrous situation in which it puts us for the conference vote. I wonder why Mortimer even allowed him to roam around the manor armed. He was a veritable public danger.
Indeed. You don't seem to be too affected. Tell me. I was wondering. You wouldn't know where to find an armillary sphere, would you?
Do you really think this is the right time? Oh, ask Volner. I am sure he will know. What with him being passionate about astronomy, you ought to get on fine together. Leave me now. I need to think of a solution.
I won't keep you any longer. See you later, monsieur.
Alors, je vais faire un tour dans toutes les chambres. Alors, celle-ci. Chambre de la tour, non, j'y suis déjà allé. Volner, on va le voir à la fin. Alors, est-ce qu'il y a des trucs à récupérer dans sa chambre?
3rd of November. August 24th. August 25th. June 11th. Carmelite water. My dear Elizabeth.
Ok, il n'y a plus rien. Après, c'est celle de Washington.
A map of Vermont.
Pareil, rien. Ah. Ça, je l'ai déjà fait. Allez hop, on se casse. Après. Ici, je peux pas rentrer.
Destruction of the Temple of Jerusalem by Francesco Hayez. The Roman destruction by Titus and his army.
Là, il y a un truc.
What violence? Carmelite water will give me a little reprieve. I have no time to lose, so I might as well not bother him. here, Giuseppe?
Ok. Je te fais fouiller sa chambre. Ah, attends, il y a un truc.
Torquemada. Quite the contrast. Wow. The fanatical priest who created the Inquisition sends shivers down the spine. Venus and Cupid with a satyr, a Correggio. Innocence, indiscretion, and lechery. Giuseppe must love that. Love Triumphant, by Caravaggio.
A ruble. Amber crystals.
The Lying Girl by Boucher. Here's a painting of mischievous eroticism. I wonder what Piaggi must think of this. John the Baptist, Youth with a Ram, by Caravaggio. A very sensual vision and very far from the usual representations of St. John. I have no time to lose, so I might as well not bother him.
Ok, donc ça, la chambre de Piaggi c'est fait. Alors ma chambre.
Amber crystals.
Ah cool.
Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who have golden elixir.
Peinture, j'avais déjà regardé. Vite fait le balcon. Alors attends, si j'ai des... Hop, si j'ai de la gelée royale dans ma chambre, autant la récupérer. Voilà. Donc ça c'est bon, ensuite l'espagnol.
Manuel Godoy. A painting of himself in his
Honey, the remedy of the gods.
Don Quixote. Talking without thinking is like shooting without taking. The Kiss of Judas, painted by Caravaggio. This is how Judas pointed out Christ to the Roman soldiers. Can you imagine a worse betrayal?
A cash.
Brutus and his companions taking an oath to kill Caesar. Charles IV of Spain. Now there's no chance of Godoy forgetting who he owes everything to.
Je crois que j'étais jamais allé dans sa chambre, lui.
Maria Louisa of Parma. Although not Godoy's true love, the Queen is...
Amber crystals. Golden elixir.
qui est sur son balcon. Non, il n'y en a pas.
Don Quixote. Talking without thinking is like shooting without taking aim.
Rien du tout. Bon.
I have to think about that one.
Amber crystals.
Two coils circle the lock.
Ok, et après normalement... Ah non, j'ai encore la chambre de Bonaparte et de Perru. Et après, je peux aller voir Volner.
It's a beautiful weapon. A lovely damask blade. It's marked with the initials of the manufacturer in Versailles.
Ok, et Perru du coup... Ah, on peut y aller quand même. Il me semble que...
Great. Honey.
Dear Mr. I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Non. Et ben on va aller voir Volner.
An armillery's
Ah bah voilà.
perfect. That will save me some time. I only hope that he isn't going to realize it right away. The signs of obscurantism.
Il n'y a rien dans sa chambre à lui.
The alchemist is an old man.
Non, bah lui, Cassos.
chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of water.
So, good. You've managed to gather all the keys.
Yes, that's right. I have everything. What should I start with?
Place the Clement III cross on the console. Then you have to put the nails on the disc of the door.
What hole should I put the nails in?
Well, I can't really advise you there, because I haven't exactly made the best choices myself. All I can say is that you have to insert 1 to choose a town, 1 to choose a chapter, and 1 to choose a verse.
What theme did you start with?
As the fresco shows the birth of Christ, I placed 1 nail in Bethlehem, 1 in chapter 2, and 1 in verse 6. The iris opened a little. I thought it was normal. Behind the aperture of the iris, there is a duct in which I put my hand. I felt something like a valve at the bottom. I thought by turning it the door would open, or the iris would open completely, or something else would happen. Instead, I felt something like an axe cut off my hand. I really thought it was the end of me.
What did you do then?
Well, although I had made some unfortunate choices, I was lucky in that Mortimer was well stocked with drugs. I raided his supplies of medicine.
All right, my turn now.
Go ahead, impress me. I'll shut up and let you concentrate.
The fresco clearly shows the birth of Christ.
Louis, I can assure you that that is not the solution to this enigma. This fresco's only purpose is to mislead. I know that now. Please, focus on another theme about Christ.
I'll have to trust her. You could see that the paint has come off in parts. Difficult to see what was there, but I can distinguish the letters N-R-I. Nothing more. Why, of course. I-N-R-I. Jesus Nazarenus Rex Eudorum. These initials stand for Jesus the Nazarene, King of the Jews. This is the inscription which appears on the cross at the crucifixion of Jesus. Yes, it's definitely a representation of the birth of Christ, but some of the details have flaked away. I can't see any other clues. One thing is for sure, this enigma deals with the life of Jesus, like my mother said. If Mortimer deliberately set a trap by showing the birth of Christ, then maybe the solution is the contrary. The death of Christ in that case? It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions. There are 3 styles of writing, and I've got 3 nails. There must be a link. I must surely put in 1 nail per category. Clearly, we have names of towns, Arabian numerals, and Roman numerals. The cycle of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. This exegesis contains comments from Judas on the different Gospels. It only contains certain chapters and verses, and the chapters are indicated by Roman numerals. The lexicon refers to different chapters and verses from the exegesis of Judas. Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head. Chapter 19, verse 17. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him, on either side, and Jesus in the midst. Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head. Chapter 5, verse 2. Jesus cures the sick and lame on the 8th of Adar, 3791, in Jerusalem, at the pool of Bethesda. All stand and fling away their canes. Cross is stuck in the mechanism. I can't do anything. Cross is stuck in the mechanism. I can't do anything. The cycle of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now.
Serrer les clous, bah, je les ai mis.
Mortimer deliberately set a trap by showing the birth of Christ, then maybe the solution is the contrary. The death of Christ in that case?
What hole should I put the nails in?
Well, I can't really advise you there, because I haven't exactly made the best choices myself. All I can say is that you have to insert 1 to choose a town, 1 to choose a chapter, and 1 to choose a verse.
Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head. Chapter 19, verse 17. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him on either side, and Jesus in the midst. Chapter 19, verse 17. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him on either side, and Jesus in the midst.
Works. Well done, Louis. I hadn't seen those other wheels. Try connecting the theme to see if it goes all the way.
During new moon, the moon is entirely in the shadow. Then, the shadow moves from west to east, meaning left to right, and goes through the following states. Waxing crescents, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with a full shadowed new moon.
The moon shadow moves from west to east. Là, faut que je trouve des dates. Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head. Merde, c'était 89 ou 93, je sais plus. Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head. 93, 7 Chaban, 607. 7th of Shaban, 607, first quarter. Okay. There must surely be a connection between the wheels.
Bah déjà, premier quartier, c'est le tout premier, je crois.
The moon shadow moves from west to east. During new moon, the moon is entirely in the shadow. Then, the shadow moves from west to east, meaning left to right, and goes through the following states. Waxing crescents, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with the full shadowed new moon. Let's see what combination corresponds to the chosen theme.
Ok, donc je pense que là j'ai la lune.
There are different icons on this wheel, but it looks like some of them can't be connected to the other wheels. Mother, what do you think?
As I told you, I didn't get that far. Nevertheless, these icons do represent moments in the life of Christ.
Well, given the difference between the number of icons and the number of towns, I think that only one path connects all the wheels with one another. Let's try to connect the theme I've chosen with the rest. It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions.
Non, ah, c'est pas ça que je voulais prendre. Ça doit être sa mort, parce que l'autre c'était sa résurrection. Voilà, une gluco.
This wheel contains several symbols made up of 1 or 2 figures and 1 letter. The highest figure does not exceed 31, and each letter corresponds to a month of the year. A for April, and M for March.
Le 26
I
mars.
think these symbols must represent a specific date.
Bon.
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck.
That was a close one.
Louis, you frightened me.
It looks like I've got another chance to find the right solution, just barely though.
Ah, c'est peut-être au niveau des icônes.
I think I can make out each one of the icons apart from the one covered in blood.
Going clockwise from the one I just mentioned, we have the halo that represents the resurrection. The waves represent the baptism of Jesus. It's more difficult to identify the next one. Maybe a crib, and in that case it's surely linked to the birth of Christ. The red herring that my mother followed. Then, the symbol represents the crown of thorns that Jesus wore during his crucifixion. The dove also represents the baptism. Certainly another red herring. Then comes the symbol of the Trinity. And finally, the candle that must stand for the Last Supper.
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck.
Allez. Merde. Chier. Ah, bordel. Tant pis. Allez, reddition. Ok, je vais mettre quoi? En agilité et un en logique. Bon bah voilà, c'est sur ce gros fail qu'on va s'arrêter là. Ah, fait chier. Bon bah c'est pas grave, au moins on va rigoler pour la prochaine fois. Allez, bon bah je vous dis à plus pour le prochain épisode. Et salut.